Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I will be showing you the Boeing 767 in Minecraft built by me and my friend. Unfortunately my friend couldn't attend at the time, so I just had to record it by myself, but I will have a link in the description to his channel. So without further ado, let's get straight in. The Boeing 767 is a wide-body airliner developed and manufactured by Boeing. The airliner was launched as a 7x7 project on July 14, 1978. Its wingspan is 156 feet. The unit cost is $160,200,000 to around $200,800,000 US dollars, and that's as of 2013. The engine type that this airliner uses is the Pratt & Whitney JT9D engines. The number built of this aircraft as of September 30th, 2020 is 1,196 aircraft, and the normal seat configuration would be around 375 seats in that one airliner. So with that little informational section added in, we're going to go ahead and start with the actual Minecraft creation, and I'll give you a little tour before we get onto the actual airlines and liveries. We'll go ahead and start here on the very front with the nose right here. Very similar to the 777, at least in my opinion. Obviously it is not as wide, but the nose still definitely reminds me a bit of a sort of like I guess you could say little brother of the 777. Here we have the nose gear right here, got some detail with some levers and iron bars right here. And also, just so you know, this is made in the Aero Team texture pack and on the Aero Team Minecraft server. I will have their YouTube channel link and Discord invitation link in the description below. Here is the doors, obviously, for it, and then some detail with andesite up there in the actual hold. As we move along the aircraft, here we have the front cargo doors, one right and on the other side, one left. We move on down a bit, we have the windows and the front cargo hold right here, the door, should I say. Here we have some gaps between, I believe, it depends which airline it is, obviously, but most likely business or first class, premium, economy, all that good stuff. Here we have the overwing exits right here, and then we'll go ahead and start with the wing. Here is the wing box where obviously the wing extends out. Let's go along the wing at first, and then here we come to the winglets. Not all 767s come with winglets. The airlines get to decide if they want them or not, but they're pretty common in 767s that you will see around. Let's go ahead and come over to the Pratt & Whitney JT9D engines. Here is the engine design we have here with the engine cowling and everything there. And then here we have the little support that latches onto the wing right here. Here we have the main landing gear with obviously lots of detail put into this. We have the little door that they have, tiny door that they have on the side, and the 4 wheels that come on each one with a total of 8. This aircraft's main landing gear is quite interesting. It actually tilts forward, I guess you could say, rather than other commercial aircraft. The only aircraft that I know of that have their gear tilting forward is the 767 and the A350. So something very interesting. I have also flown on this aircraft before, so I know quite a lot about it. Here we start coming towards the back, and we have the aft cargo doors right here for the aft cargo hold. And then here we have the aft doors of the actual aircraft that lead you into the cabin. This is, I believe, 4 right and 4 left right here, I believe, because there's the one in the front, 2 over the wing, and then this one in the back. Here we have the horizontal stabilizers and the trim details right here, and the general design of the horizontal stabilizer. Here we have the vertical stabilizer in its shape and form as it is in real life, and the APU in the back here. So with all that said, I will go ahead and start showing off some of the liveries. A little note that I want to add is that we have not done interior on this aircraft yet. At least I will most likely, if we do it, put out a video of the interior. If not, sort of edit this one and add that part in. Also, in the description, I will have timestamps to each part of the video. So for instance, this part was just about the actual Minecraft build showcase, and then I'll have the informational section, the intro, as well as each livery, and then the outro. One more thing I want to add on here is that we have also made the freighter variants. It's basically we just took the same fuselage and added and removed the windows, the doors, and added anything that you would find on a freighter 767. Here we have the main cargo door right here on the left side like usual, and then the front regular emergency door where they board, and also the ones in the back. And it's basically the same besides all those details added in. So now we will move on to the airline liveries, and then after that I will show you some of the cargo liveries we have made. Our very first livery is American Airlines. American Airlines owns 107 aircraft, and they don't use this too much anymore, at least for what I have seen, but I think they still are in service out there. Wouldn't be too surprised. Here, obviously, we have the nose and everything, not too much to say. And then here we have the American logo with the text right next to it. Nothing added to the engines, and actually, so obviously the new American livery sort of has a tint of gray, but we decided that when we put that on, it looked too dark, so we went ahead and kept it white wool. The winglets are also white wool to be the same color as the fuselage. Here we come to the back, and we have the iconic, obviously, American Airlines tail with the blue stripes, with the blue bit at the front, and then the white and red stripes in the back and leading all the way down. That's really all to say for this aircraft since we have not done interior, but like I said, I might add that in eventually if we do make that. For our next livery, we have the Delta 767. This is specifically the type of 767 I rode on. I rode on a Delta 767. Boeing aircraft make up around 60% of Delta's fleet, so they do have quite a lot of Boeing aircraft, and I know they love to use their 767s on a lot of flights whenever they can. So obviously here we start at the front, they keep their fuselage white, so we just have a white nose, no details added on. Here we have the Delta logo and the Delta text right here. It may seem a little off because to make the letters realistic, we had to sort of improvise, and unfortunately we had to make it look a bit weird like that. Here we come over to the underbelly, actually where the nose gear is, but obviously nothing added onto here. But over here is where the blue underbelly starts. There actually is, I'm pretty sure, a Delta text right here like there is on most aircraft. Unfortunately, we did not add that in as we forgot to, and we ran out of time as online school has really been ruining our days, I should say. Here on the engines, they are also painted blue, nothing else much to say, and same with the winglets, they are also painted blue. We start coming to the back, and we have the blue curving back in. Here we have the, I believe this is the registration number, and they made it in this I'm not 100% sure, but I know they definitely have this on the back. And then here we have the iconic Delta tail, and yes, they do have this sort of whitish, grayish line, and it's very thick, I guess you could say, in the front right here. And then the Delta symbol right there. Not too much else to say about this aircraft, so let's go ahead and move on to the next airliner livery. Our next and final, I believe, airline livery we have done so far is the United 767. Let's go ahead and come to the front, and we have the iconic sort of gold yellow line that runs across the whole entire aircraft, dividing the white fuselage with the sort of light grayish fuselage down here. Here, obviously, at the front gear doors, there is a color differentiation with the smooth stone compared to the normal stone. Here we have the Star Alliance logo located on the side behind the cockpit, in the middle behind the cockpit, and in front of the front doors of the aircraft. As we come back, here is the United text, obviously, like they have on every single aircraft, and then the more colored differentiation on these areas right here. As we keep going down, obviously we have the gray underbelly, and the engines are painted gray as well. Here in the back is the gray and the blue, which I'm pretty sure is divided by the yellow/gold line, but it's so small that we can't really fit that into detail, or else it would look way too large. I did actually add gear tilt onto this. This is what you will most likely see in the thumbnail, unless I have to change the thumbnail up. But this is most likely what you see in the thumbnail. I have the gear tilted forwards, like I said earlier, how it's an interesting aircraft, and it actually tilts forward. Finally, the gold line finishes off in the back of the aircraft, obviously, and then we have the United tail. Looks very good with the sort of world logo in the gold, white, and blue colors. And yeah, that wraps up, I believe, our airliner collection of liveries, and let's go ahead and move on to our freighter collection. So our very first freighter livery we have here is Prime Air, aka Amazon Prime. They use the 767 quite a lot to transport, obviously, mail and whatnot, deliveries. So here at the nose, it's just plain white, and then as you come to the back, you have the big Prime Air text in the sort of blue right here. Here we have the front cargo doors, obviously. And then near the beginning of the wing box, it turns into the same blue as the text and curves up until it reaches the back of the tail. I'm not sure why that's like that. It should be the same as the other side. But the engines are also just painted white on this livery. And then over here at the winglets, it looks pretty interesting, sort of like the tail. Speaking of the tail, let's go ahead and come on over here. Here we have the back, which is made out of gray, or the color painted gray, and then the tail here with the Amazon Prime logo with the little semicircle, I guess you could say, and the check mark. And with that, we go ahead and move on to our next freighter livery. Our next livery is the ABX Air freighter livery. Let's just jump right in so I can make this video a bit shorter. It's most likely kind of long by now, and you may be getting annoyed. So here we have the front, the nose, obviously, where the gray underbelly sort of starts. I don't think all of their 767s has the gray underbelly, but we decided to add it in this one. The gear doors are still white at the very front, and we come back, and the underbelly, the gray underbelly, actually takes a break around the middle of the wing box, and at the end of the wing box, it continues on to the very back. The very front of the engines are painted gray as well, with the logo right there. I believe this is actually the Rolls-Royce variant of the engine, I believe. I'm not too sure. ABX does not use winglets on this aircraft, so there's no detail added to that. coming to the tail, actually I forgot to add the text in. Here is the ABX Air text right here with the black and red line stretching all the way to the back here. They don't usually have a detailed tail. It's usually just the American flag. However, some variants do have an interesting ABX design tail. Here is the aircraft registration right here with these black slabs, and finally the American flag on the tail. We had to use the TNT texture to make it look like the red and white lines, and obviously it looks flipped on this side, but it was the best we could do. So with all that said, we have a couple, I think 3 or 4 more liveries, or maybe even just 2 to go through that are also freighter, I am pretty sure. Alright, so the second to last livery that we have here is actually the FedEx 767 livery. So here we come to the front, just a regular normal white nose, and then we have the FedEx text, obviously, with the little smaller text at the bottom, I believe. Same on the other side as well. Here on the engines, they also have the FedEx text added right here on the side of the engines. They also do not use the winglets, just like ABX Air, not too sure why. Here we have the aircraft registration, I believe, and then the purple tail that comes up and curves up to the back right here with, once again, I believe the FedEx text right here. Now, last but not least, the FedEx livery here. Once again, a white normal nose with the UPS text right here with all the good stuff it says. The engines are painted white like most of the fuselage, and the winglets that they do use are also painted white, I believe, and also that should not be like that. I'm not sure what World Edit is doing to us. Here is the yellow line that starts at the top of the fuselage and eventually curves back into the very back of the aircraft. And then finally it makes the, it divides the white fuselage with the brown colored fuselage, and then the tail, obviously, that has the UPS shield logo and the aircraft registration right here. So with that, it looks like this showcase is over. I have showed you multiple liveries of both the freighter variants and airliner variants. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.